All right, we're good to go. Let me do a little thingy here.
We usually start off the session with
Okay, there we go.
sharing our sharing it to our pages.
Yeah, yeah, that's what we're doing. Good afternoon, everyone. Just there we go. So there is news feed, and there we go. All right, I'm on Facebook. Yeah, that's what we're doing. Eliminate the feedback. Hold on a second here. We're live. I just want you to know we're
Just
live.
in time.
And just in case.
Hello, everyone.
Awesome! Good to see you.
Oh, so good.
While we're in the middle of laughing, let me just greet our audience. Good afternoon, everyone. Thank you for joining the Dollars and Cents team for another Thursday, another segment, another installment. We are here to just brighten your day as best as we can and enlighten you as well. Myself, KP, we're normally here, and we have Miss Billy Jane from PCAL Financial Group. Always here being a blessing to us, man. Just sharing her knowledge, her expertise, experience, all these different things, just enhancing our little team, right?
Yes, indeed.
And I love the fact that she's on the fly and she's working things.
Pops in there. Pops in there.
I love it. I love it. I see the maturation.
We're all about being real.
Yeah.
We're real people.
She was locked away in the office and in a formal setting, Keisha, before us, and then all of a sudden, man, this rambunctious crew, I gotta get in there. And of course, we have Miss Keisha Johnson, mortgage broker, so many other things, man. She makes a lot of these things happen when it comes to the interviews. Wade isn't here, but shout outs to him. Who knows? He may jump on soon.
He may pop into.
Yeah, he may pop in, so that's all right. And we have our special guest, Miss Sanganette, Jarett. Right? Am I saying your last name correct?
Sure, you are.
All right. So she told us that she was a bit nervous or shy. I don't know, but it's all right. We're gonna make you feel nice, man. Don't worry.
Yes. Don't be shy. We're a good bunch.
So Sanganette, just to help you get even more comfortable, I don't know, have you shared this link to your friends?
I shared it to a few friends.
Okay, that's good. That's good. Okay, that's just to make you, because if they send a message on here, we'll be able to see the message and I can display it as best as I can. All right.
Okay.
All right. So let's do your bio first, and then we will get into our conversation. Right. And we're unapologetically black on here, by the way. Just want you to know. All right. We deal with the thing. All right. Miss Sanganette is a migrant from Jamaica. Shout outs to the Jamaican folks there. I'm an employment counselor with 8 years of working experience in employment services. I enjoy working with youth, assisting them in navigating their career goals, etc., and new immigrants with their job search and connection to resources. I'm a graduate of the Social Support Work Program Honors, and I'm currently pursuing my BSc in Social Work, focusing on my retirement goal, becoming a family counselor. Outside of work and school, I am actively involved in my church community, providing services and resources to the needy or always assisting people. I like to go for long walks, shopping, meet and talk with people, and know about other cultures. I also like to watch a good Tyler Perry movie. Go, girl.
Love it. I just had to jump in with you liking to go for long walks, which is lovely. It just reminds me of Keisha streaking down the road. So Keisha likes to do more than just walk. Do you remember that video? Okay. And remind everyone, Keisha's streaking down the road, so she likes her fast walking too.
They balance each other out.
My speed running.
That's what they do.
My speed running, yeah.
All right. So Miss Sanganette, welcome to Dollars and Cents.
Thank you so much. Thank you. Thank you for inviting me on.
Yeah, man. Thanks for accepting. Thanks for being here. Right. We like to connect with folks in and from the community, and to help our community grow as best as possible, develop, understand different things, or be aware of things that are out there that they didn't know of before. Right? Okay. So before we get into the meat of what you do and, and services and career goals and navigating all these different things as far as you being a social worker and an employment counselor. So talk to us about who you are. You've been in Canada a long time. We know that you come from Jamaica, but at what point was that, did that happen? What about in terms of I had a question on the tip of my tongue, man. schooling, right? Which tell us about the school. Just like mangoes, all of these different things. Yeah.
Okay, as you said it in my bio, I'm from Jamaica. I came to Canada since 2010. And that was a different story when I came to Canada. Culture shock, everything.
Right.
So I've been here almost 12 years. Next year will be 12 years.
Okay.
I came to Canada just to have a, you hear you're coming to foreign, have a lot of opportunities. And so, and they promised that in Canada, you'll have, better than Jamaica. You can, it was a desire of coming here.
Yeah, streets are paved with gold.
Yes.
I was gonna say,
Gold. But when I came here, it was a shock for me because I came on the professional skill filing. So because of your profession, then you can file for yourself then. So I came here and I normally work with Hartrust. And I'm a payroll clerk or payroll manager then and there. So I came here all saying, okay, there's jobs here because that's the reason why I was qualified to file for myself.
Right.
However, when I came here, it was a different story.
Okay.
It was a different story when I came here. I could not get a job when I came.
Okay.
Everywhere I go, I didn't have Canadian work experience. And so I decided to say, okay, let me go back to school and get some Canadian education to see if I can get into the field that I enjoy so much.
Right.
So I went to Centennial College and I did my payroll designation. And I did all of that. At the point, I said, okay, yes, now I have it. So I can get a job in the payroll sector.
Okay.
But only to hear again, oh no, it's such a confidential field. You cannot get a job in there. I said, okay, can I get to volunteer? No, it's very confidential. And no, you couldn't get a job in there. So all my dreams and everything were shattered. No, I said, what should I do? And, being here, you're not working. You have to have money to help you through your bills to pay and everything, right? So my money was going down and I said, you know what? Now I hit rock bottom, right? I said, you know what? I have to go get something.
Yeah, sorry to interrupt. You said what confidential field was that? What field was that?
That was in the payroll department, HR, because payroll is now under HR.
Okay,
here,
okay,
right?
okay. All right.
So it's a lot of salaries and, whatever, but
yes.
So, and again, they said, well, although I have the education, I didn't have the experience. And although I had the experience from Jamaica, that experience didn't count.
Doesn't count, right?
And it's almost the same thing because it's just like the taxes are different also, but the same principle that applies, right? So that was one of my frustration then. And then I decided to say, okay, I'm going to go I decided, okay, now my money is going down. So I'm going to go, I must find some job or some employment somewhere to give me money. So I went to Staff Plus, I never forget it. And they sent me to the factory.
Yeah.
That's what you do.
We know, listen, you're talking to the right team and you're talking to the right audience there. We all know that. All right. Even when I was a little bit younger, they think that that's the only thing that you are able to do, right?
Yes.
But,
Yes.
Yeah, and just to stick a quick pin there, I mean, I've worked besides, like when I used to do telemarketing and stuff like that, I've worked beside doctors, very high professional people that when they come here, because their level of expertise does not match here in Canada. In fact, one they had it on the news where an individual, noted that it's almost as if Canada wants individuals to come here and be slaves, right? Because you can't use your qualifications, or it's so
Right.
much more for you to upgrade it. So totally understand that. Yeah.
So that was what I was facing. So I said, I needed some money, so I have to take what I can get. As I said, I reached rock bottom now. So I went into the factory, and I didn't know anything about factory work. I remember, never forget it. They gave me the mop at the end of the day. That long mop.
Yep.
Man, I was wondering, should I push it forward or should I stay behind it?
Yeah.
So I didn't know what to do. And I went back, and they didn't, I think like for the first week, they didn't call me. I went once and they didn't call me back. And then afterward, they called me, and I continually going back. I think I wasn't doing a good job, right?
It's all right, man. No worries. I've been down that road.
I think it was the mop.
Yeah.
Yes, could be. And then I think you get used to the safety boots, all of those things, and the standing long. But anyway, I had to do what I had to do to get some money. And I'm not downplaying going to the factory. I learned a lot at the factory. I remember the ladies that were there. I knew how to get around. My son was here with me, and I knew where I could get in aftercare program, where I could go to the resource centers and all of that. And I can remember one of the ladies told me about Tropicana Employment Center. And I said, oh, okay. And then she got housing from them and all of that. So I said, okay, I need to try that one out. And then I went for the factory for a while, and then I said, okay, no, this is it. I was getting some neck pain and so on. So I had to go to the doctor. They said like my cartilage was going or something like that. So I said, you know what? Seems as if this is it. This is it, right? So I decided now that I'm going to, with other things that the factory wasn't working out.
Right.
I tried going to school for PSW. I went. No, first I went. They said you have to get your GED. After being a professional, coming here, I have to go and get my GED.
Right.
So I said no. I started and then I stopped, because then I didn't know what to get into. What should I other field I should get into so I can get a good job. So what I did, I went to PSW. Everybody told me, yes, PSW, you get there. There's always job, always. Okay. I started my course, and I was about to do placement. And, that again, I said, no, I can't go down that road. Some of the things that I learned, I said, my God, to do this, to do that. Eventually, I was about to start my placement, and before that I registered with Tropicana. Now I found Tropicana and I registered with them. I went to their bridging program, and the bridging program, and like it was maybe 2 years after, my employment counselor sent me an email, and she said, "Are you interested in a payroll position job?" And I said, from February, and it's summer job. And I said, what? And I said, okay. I never refused employment or anything I get. I said, okay, let me go. I emailed and I told her yes. And she said, okay, send me the resume. Send the resume. And I was there waiting until, they called me. I went for an interview. But one of the ironic thing about when I went for that interview, I was there. I just went. I said, I have nothing to lose. I just go. I'm not really interested in after going through so much interview for payroll position and didn't get. I said, okay, maybe this is one of those things you go to interview and they look down on you to say what you think. Your profession here, not that you have, is no valid here. Right? So I said, okay, let me go. And I went there. I didn't do much preparation about like questions they were going to ask or anything. I didn't do anything. I just said, well, you know what, I'm going. So I sat at the front and I was there. I was very polite. One thing I learned, you be polite when you go into those places, like the receptionist and so be polite. You never know who is who. And I'm always a polite person. Good morning, always.
Yep.
So I went in and I was talking to the person at the receptionist and fine. And I see the time was going and I had like a 3:00 appointment. It was almost 3:15. So the person came out to me and came out to say they're running a little bit late and they'll be there. But when the lady came out, I said, I know you.
Yeah.
And then that lady for the department. She was one of the manager or director with Heart Trust Employments, Heart Trust where I used to work back home. I didn't know that she was here or anything like that. When I saw her, I said, oh my God. Then we spoke and she said, okay. Then I went back to my thing and I sat and I said, I'm starting to search myself now because, people remember the negative things and not the positive.
Right.
So I sat and I think, did I ever, when working at Heart Trust, did I ever remove? Has she ever called? Have I ever done something that might come against me? But I said, you know what? And I said, but no, I cannot. Our company back home was such a professional company. No, I can't make any mistake or anything like that. It's going to look bad on me.
Right, right.
So anyway, I went into the interview and it was like a panel interview. And they asked me some questions. And I answered some correctly. I didn't answer some correctly because nerves was taking me all over.
Yes.
But then they were so good and all of that. So I went, afterward we spoke. The lady I knew, we spoke. Well, she was actually the director for the program too. So we spoke just in general where, I'm here since when. And I told her and that was it. I said, okay. I'm not holding my breath. Anything happens. Right? So I went home and on my way, they called me or text me to say I must get my references. And I did.
That's a sign.
Well, I didn't know that because, you knew here. Because I didn't even walk with references. I didn't know that. Right? So I just take it as
you're brand new, man. You're brand new. It's okay.
So I didn't take it as anything, but when they asked for the reference and I gave it in, I had to call people from back home and say, okay, can you be my reference? And I have to get it in at a certain time because I'm not prepared.
Right.
Anyway, I did that and they called me in to say, okay, they want me to meet the director. Then now I said, oh yeah, that must be something good. And I went.
And this is that same payroll position that you got interviewed for.
Yes.
Okay.
So I went in to meet the director, and in going into the office, his office was like the chair where was I going to sit. He had a tray there at the desk, and by walking, I just hit over the tray, and I said, "My God."
Ice is broken. There we go. Yeah. You're not nervous anymore. Literally. You got it out. Yeah.
And I have to say, oh my God, I'm so sorry because you might be looking at me clumsy or even but anyway, he was such a nice director, honestly. And he said, you know what, I'm just here just to meet you. They're looking at other candidates. He didn't ask me any question. And I said, and he said, okay. And, there are other candidates and it's just 25 hours per week. And I said, that's okay. I'm good with that. I'm good because I just want to get in somewhere.
Right.
And he said, okay. And we went. I never forget, I wear this pink rose. And then there was a secretary there. Oh, hi, is your name Sanganette? I like that rose, that I had in my hair. So I said the ice was broken. I said, well, it seems as if these people are liking me, so.
Right.
And I went home and afterward they sent me, they said, yes, I was accepted. I was for the position. And I said, whoops, good job, I said, wow. And I started like in February, but this was just like 20 hours, three days per week. And I said, you know what, I'm going to take it. This is my field. I want to get something away from the factory work. So I did, and I went there.
And you got in.
I got in and I started working. And I think one of the things that got me, I went there, but then it was 20 hours. It was 20 hours per week. Sorry. It was 20 hours per week. And I went there. I worked. And you know what? I present myself. I was hardworking. I did everything they asked me because I wanted this job. And the company they were Black. So I felt so comfortable.
Right.
And it went from 3 days per week to 4 days to 5 days until I'm working even on Saturday because I have to go in and do overtime. And I said, you know what? Because then they had this program for youth, and it was like in the summer, so I was working, and they were impressed by my how fast I learned, and they were I was so good. This was a mat leave position. And I think the other person was getting jealous. I'm taking over her position, but this is how I work. And when I work, I put everything in it. And that was where it started. I was there until that position. It was just, as I said, mat leave. And the person came back. And then there was another program for youth. And the program was some after school program. It was 3 months. I took the position. 3 months, and then I got permanent, and that's where it started. And I'm still there till 8 years.
Okay. Well, there's so many angles that we can dissect here, of course, with regards to Tropicana. We're gonna touch on a few parts, right? In our last half of our session here. Now, Tropicana is something that I'm very familiar with. One of my first real jobs, and I say real because I started doing paper route. I actually volunteered at the age of, I think it was maybe 10 or 11 at a nursing home, and then I did a paper route at 11, and then 14, no, I think it was 15 was when I came across Tropicana. All right, it was my first summer job. I worked at a bakery, earning some money. In those days, earning your little summer money for a pure man. Say, right? And it definitely, as a student, and some of my friends as well, they had an opportunity to go through that program. It definitely offers a lot of opportunity. I want for you to give us a bit of background. Now, let's start off with, and as I said, we're gonna hit a few points here. So if we could try to sum up some of these areas so that we can provide as much as possible for those who are listening now, those who will be listening later. Give us a bit of background as to Tropicana, where. What is the foundation of Tropicana, so that individuals understand where this organization, the inspiration of this organization.
Okay, so Tropicana, we started as Tropicana Community Services. There's 2 or 3 angles to Tropicana. You have the employment, the community side, and you have the employment side, and you have the daycare side. So Tropicana, nonprofit organization, and it was founded by a Jamaican, Mr. Robert Brown, in 1980. He wanted to help youths, disadvantaged youths, and their families. You have to have somebody to look out for somebody else, and the Caribbean and African heritage clients, families. So that's where Tropicana started from. So we provide like services. As I said, we have the employment side, the daycare side, and the community side.
So you're with Tropicana right now?
Yes, I'm working with Tropicana.
Okay, all right. Just wanted to be clear on that. Okay, go ahead, Keisha.
I was going to say, you touched on housing. I didn't know that Tropicana, I was always on the employment side. You said something about housing. Tropicana also, and then you say daycare as well. These are other services that Tropicana provides for the community?
Yes, these are the others department. That's the community services, the community service area, and we're at 1385 Huntingwood Drive, and we have a transitional housing worker that for abused women, They do, if you're in an abuse situation, then they can assist you in applying for priority housing and to get you housing. We have at least 2 daycares, and they serve youths between children between 4 to 12 years old. And we have other community programs like a mentorship program. We have mentorship. We have the youth programs. We have education style. We have mentorship. We even have college auto body, a pre-apprenticeship program, auto body pre-apprenticeship repair program we have too. And we have network programs, and then the employment side of the program.
Okay. Wow, that's really, really jam-packed.
Yeah, that's quite a bit.
Yeah, I mean, a lot more than I thought. I'm learning here right now. As I said, I've always gone through the employment side, and Sanganette knows me.
Yeah,
you know, any little
too.
family member or anything, I'm bringing them down.
Yeah, me too. That's pretty much what I was, you know, what I'm not that I've associated with Tropicana. As a matter of fact, I used to pass. I don't know if the office is still there or the location is still there. And if I'm incorrect, you can always correct me. What's that? What is that? What's that one in Markham there? Not Markham. Scarborough.
Progress? Is it Progress?
Yeah, okay.
There used to be one there, yeah.
There used to be one there, and then we have our own building now, which is at 1385 Huntingwood Drive. So that's where the office is right now.
Okay.
But I started with them at Progress. That's where I started at first, and then yeah. So
where you know, in terms of your bio and what you're doing, so this is where you want to be, right? As far as employment services, and that this is what you've always wanted to do, even though you're coming from a financial background.
You know what? I was in finance, and coming to Canada, working at Tropicana gave me a different view of life.
Right.
It seems as if like I find where my true passion is, because like in finance, I'm numbers. You don't talk to people. But here now in social work, I get to assist people, talk with people, meet people. You know, one of the things for me, our accomplishment for me, is seeing a youth going through my program and they are successful, and you pass them on the road. Sanganette, how are you? I said, how are you now? You know, I'm working 2 jobs when they were in the program. They weren't working any at all. You're telling them about job? Oh no, nothing. That's not in my books. But then no, they're up and they're going and they're having 2 jobs. They're going to school, you know, and it's really an accomplishment for me. And this is where I see myself. I find myself now where this is where my true passion is.
So in terms of accessing some of the things that you're talking about, right? What, somebody just walk off it's COVID now, but anyway, they call, they search you up online, they can walk in. Like, how does it work in terms of individuals?
Take us through the process.
Yeah.
Okay. So for the employment section, as I at the employment side, we have various programs. We have programs for youth, and which is the Youth Job Connection program and the Youth Summer program. Right. For that one, they'll just call us. Sometimes we do flyers. We advertise on Indeed, so they'll just call us. And we register, like for the youth program, the Youth Job Connection program. That one is for youth 15 to 29 years old. You have to be out of school, out of employment. And they just call in. We have different sessions. Like for that program is for it's a pre-employment program where youth will do up to 60 hours of pre-employment. It teaches them how to do their resume, interview skills, work etiquette, money management, you know, anything, you know, just to get them at the beginning. Because you see some of them, they haven't worked before, they don't know what others look like, right?
Right.
So that is what they learn. And they're also paid. They're paid minimum wage. So they're being paid to come in and learn something, right? Right. So they do a maximum of 60 hours, and it's paid that work out to maybe, I think, $800 and something after. And then they're placed in an employment up to six weeks, or with a potential of hiring. So that's the Youth Job Connection program for the youths. The other side is the employment services side, where that it doesn't have any age limit. You start, I think they start from age 16 and up, and you can be up to 70, 80. As long as you want to work, you can register. You just call us, and our numbers on the website. You call us and we register you. One of the criteria for the programs, though, you have to be a permanent resident, a Canadian citizen, refugees or so. Like a work permit student, you won't be able to access the program, but we'll assist you in the resource center, like doing your resume, sending your job leads, and so on. Right. So for the employment services program, we do provide clients with workshops, like interview workshops too. We have interview resume workshop. What else? And we give them mentorship, employment counseling. Like a new immigrant coming in, you don't know where to start. We have that sort of program where you teach them to do a resume, because like every country you do your resume different. I remember when I came here, I did the resume with Miss and my date of birth and my marital status and all of that. No, you don't do that here, right? So they have to, we carry them through that process to say, this is how you do your resume, right? And we also have workshops like women's customer service excellence workshops, all of that.
So that's the so that's the 15 to 29 is what did you call that? The what?
Youth Job Connection Program.
Youth Job Connection Program.
Yes.
All right. And then the other on the employment side, it's from 16 and up.
Yes.
All right. Let me share this. Granted, I've never done it with Tropicana now, but when I was growing up, I grew up in places like Driftwood. I live close to Jamestown. I was in some rough areas, and I was always one of those young people who would be trying to get an employment or just navigate. It was a very terrifying thing to walk into the center. As a matter of fact, I did do it, and it was just I felt inadequate. I felt like I was going to be ridiculed or anything like that. And I, at the same time, I want a job. I want to work. I want to get into a good setting rather than just being pigeonholed or funneled. Oh, okay, do you have a hard hat? You have your construction boots, right? Been down there, done that. And I've even, and when doing it, I go in there, do what I got to do, but it just wasn't me, right? I mean, when individuals connect with an organization that you work with, like Tropicana, right? I mean, those services are wonderful, and we'll dig into it some more. I just wanted, from my personal experience, how do you guys help individuals to be confident or to get the confidence to come in, take that first step, that initiative? Once they're in there, do you see? I don't know if you understand what I'm saying. I'm just sharing some of my own personal experiences here.
Yeah, I understand, because I was doing the Youth Job Connection Program. I did that for years, and like having youths just decide you have to reach like 9:30 for programming, and sometimes that's not them,
right?
But it's the environment that you build for them. If they see that they come into a place where they're accepted, there's nobody judging them. There's nobody pushing them or to say you have to do this, or because your color is like this, you can't participate. And as you said, in Driftwood and so on, while I was in the youth program, right, I realized, or in most of our Black families, they are the ones who are lagging behind. And if you don't have somebody to navigate, help to assist them to navigate the system, or to tell them certain things, they are lost. So when they see a face like fitting, I think that was one of the comfortable things with them. When they see a face that fit their own culture, they level with you. And for me, when I was doing that program, or even now with my employment services program, I don't be like, that top person. I'm just an ordinary person like them. I could be in their position. So I see myself as being at the position that they are at, and I treat them at that level, to say, okay, you can make it. You can, not because you're there, you have to stay there, And then I think that's what happen, that they feel real comfortable being with Tropicana. I know not everybody can work, but then we work with them until say, okay, and have counseling with them and all of that until they reach that level, or
There are two sides to the employment section, and you can correct me if I'm wrong if they still have that. Do you subsidize the pay with employers, and if you do that for any small businesses or businesses that are out there, how would they be able to align with that program where the pay is somewhat subsidized? Do you still have that available?
Okay, so this is why our program is this successful, because for the program you have the wage subsidy. The wage subsidy is that if the employer pays someone that we place our clients, if they pay them $14, we sometimes pay them the $14 or part of the salary that they pay to the client. So we still have that. And also in the program, if there's someone there who hasn't worked, like maybe a new immigrant that comes in, they haven't worked for a while and they can't afford like clothing or a bus pass to go to work, as long
bus
as
pass, stuff like that. Yeah, it was always challenging sometimes, even just to get there.
To get there. And even not only because you work when you get the job, but even to come to the programs, if you can't afford it or go to interview, we have this support that we do support them. They can benefit from that. The only thing, they have to be registered with us because we have to give account for the funding that the government gives. So there's always supports there. You might have a new immigrant, which is a professional who came in and they want to do their designation or so, or maybe to do, get into small training, then we can cover that cost as well. So yeah, we do have those facilities still.
Okay.
Well, the resources definitely seem it's there. It's just a matter of individuals finding out about it and then of course utilizing it, right? What would you say one of the what are the number 3 things that you would say that employers are looking for, right? For individuals out there that are in your program, what type of things do you prepare them for so that they know how to present themselves? What are employers looking for? I've had individuals that say in this day and time you don't need to dress up anymore. That was back in your time.
We work from home now.
You know what? Employers are looking, and I think what employers are looking for, that you can, even if you don't know the job, they can teach you. Some employers are willing to teach you the job, but you just have to have the commitment, right? You have to committed to going into work. Like some employees, some clients, they turn up late, and employers know for that.
Yeah,
they're not coming in. They don't call in to say, well, what happened, why they're not coming in. And to be honest, we have to be on the employer's side because it's a business. It's not like a little shop that they're running, right? And they're running it for profit. So these little workplace etiquette that we'll teach them, and that will help, like going to work early. If you're not going in, call ahead of time, right? If you're going to late, call ahead of time. Don't when you're going for an interview at first, because that's the first impression that the employer is going to use to judge you.
Right.
Map out where you're going. Do the preparation. Do the clothing. Even drive to the area that you're going and to see, your way there, because anything can happen, right?
Wow. So your counseling and your guidance is really that practical.
Yes, we do that. Yes.
Okay.
Yep, we do that because if we send the client and they're not hired, it doesn't look good on us, right?
Right.
Well, how did we prepare them for the job, or prepare them to go for the interview, or the interview is the first face to face, or no, we're doing they're doing virtual interviewing. And that's another thing, where we go, we teach them about that one too. Not because it's in your home or so you're going to do it, you're going to have the noise in the background. You're going to come with your hair pull out like this, or you're not going to dress up, that sort of thing. So we have to let them know that it's an interview, and it's a professional thing that you're doing.
Turn on your camera.
Judge you. Yeah. Turn on your camera so you can't be talking and they don't see your face.
Yeah.
Right? So we have to carry them through those steps too. And even sometimes when they go to work, like, well, I can't say young people, but some persons, the senior adults do it too. They're on their phone and they don't leave the phone. And everything, they're on the phone. Now, what time you have to be on your phone instead of doing the people's job, right? That's not a good thing. The employer would say, no. Just they wouldn't tell them, they'll call us and to say, this is the feedback, and okay, we can't use them. So, as much as sometimes you don't have the knowledge, but they're willing to train you on the job, as long as you have the will to learn and the desire to learn and to be there. And I always tell my clients, you know what? This job, this is not where you want to go or where you want to be, but you just want to get your foot into the door. And once you get, you could always climb the ladder up, right? I remember for me when I was at Tropicana and I was at the 25 hours per week, I went to other departments and I said, do you have anything for me to do? I didn't sit there on my phone picking my nails or whatever. I didn't do that. I was always, and I think when you have that sort of attitude to work, that it'll take you far away.
Taking the initiative, yes.
Yeah.
Has COVID slowed you guys down or anything like that? If business picking up, it's booming as a result. Like, what is the situation there?
No, although we're working from home, we still do our intakes. Residents, or they can call in and we do the intake. People are still looking for jobs, even when places were closed down in COVID. The people were still calling in. We had jobs working from home, like call centers and sometimes we'll have like in-house training that they will do, little training. So they were always busy. So it didn't impact us that much, and we have to do our numbers, right?
Yeah.
Because the ministry, we have to intake certain amount of clients for the year, and we have to use up the funds. If we don't use the funds, then our funds are going to be, for the coming year, is going to be reduced. So we have to go at it just the same. Yeah.
Wow. Why can't they just let you keep it in the piggy bank, man? I think Billy, are you there still, Billy?
Yes, I am still here. Can you guys hear me?
We can hear you. We just can't see you. You're a bit fuzzy, but yeah, we can hear you.
I can't come on camera right now. And I'm so sorry.
Right.
I mean, this has been such good conversation. I am in transit. I do have my mom in the hospital, and so I'm trying to make my rounds back and forth, and have been having horrible reception. But I'm so committed. I want to hear. I want to.
Oh, she dropped again. It's okay. She'll be back if anything.
I'm sure that Billie Jean has a lot of questions. And can't get them in right now. But yeah, definitely. You do second careers as well at Tropicana for individuals that are, not happy where they are and want to leap into something different. You guys do that as well?
I was about to say that we have another, this I didn't mention it before, but we do second career, right? And second career is if you're in a field that you were laid off from, or there isn't much job in that field, then you could always apply for second career. You have to be on EI, employment insurance. And since the pandemic, they have loosened the restrictions a little bit, like the qualifications that for you to qualify for the program, it has been reduced a bit so people can get in and to get, because they needed people in the health sectors, right? So they are doing that. You have to be unemployed. You'd have to be a resident of Ontario. And we do have the workshop every month, just to the information session every month, just to see where you are at and how you would be qualified. So we have that too. And as I mentioned, we have the pre-apprenticeship program that is every April, and that's always a success, where they'll do a skill, then learn how to do auto body. They don't have to pay. It's all free. All our services here are free. Right?
It's all so FREE, right?
Yeah. The only thing, the daycare, I think the daycare you have to pay, but the employment side of it, it's free. Right. We actually pay clients to learn.
Oh, that's all right. That's good.
That's amazing.
I got a question.
Can you guys hear me?
We can hear you a little. We can hear you a little bit better, but I was just about to share your question, but go ahead.
Please do. Please. Okay. All right. So my question was just about like social media in this world. As you know, I mean, I loved hearing about like the training that you offer, but do you teach about the impact of social media, you know, as people are looking for roles, especially dealing with young people who may not be so conscious of their social media presence and the impact to their employability, right? So I'm curious to know your thoughts on that.
Yeah. In terms of how they present themselves on social media, you're saying, and employers looking
exactly being aware of your social media presence. All of
Is that a part of the training? Sanganette?
Yes, that is part of the training too. Right. That we'll do, especially for youth. We do all of that in the training, like to tell them about how you handle yourself on social media. You're going for an interview. The employer they all do search you up on when you go there. You ask, they search you up on social media. So be careful what you place on social media. Be careful your image that you have there, because you know you're going in for a job or you're going for an interview. You're on your best behavior.
Right.
But afterward, employers go behind and they check and they say, okay.
So what if? So should they just go and scour all their social media posts and whatever platforms they're on and just delete? Or I mean, how do you advise? I mean, don't do it. We know, don't do it.
Make sure it's private.
It's private, or maybe they don't go on their real name. Right?
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So if they use maybe another name, then, well, you know what? And even friends are friends too. So maybe using it, or just be careful of what you're putting out there.
Bottom line.
Be careful. Yeah.
Along that same line, social media, but mainly in the tech. Like, do you guys facilitate, I don't know, partnerships, training, or connections with people to do coding, to be in IT and all that? You know, I mean, how broad is your connection? Or
I know at the community center they have, I just didn't look it up here, but they have a computer course going now on that, and that one you have to pay. But all the information are on our website.
What's the website? If you can put it in there, what's the website that individuals can go to? How can they reach you? How can they?
Let me see if I can pull it up here. Go ahead and talk.
Okay. It's www.tropicanaemploymentcenter.ca, and the community site is tropicanaemployment.org. Also, the Twitter, we have a Twitter page too.
Oh, you guys are on Twitter too. Okay.
Yes. All of that are there. They're all out there, and even sometimes we do advertise on Indeed, right?
Indeed as well.
Yeah, and we do ask clients to go on our page, and just because we advertise jobs on there too, and that's where they can see even the workshop calendar and all of that are on the site.
It's Tropicana what?
Tropicana Employment. That's one word.
Okay.
.ca.
Okay.
Or the other side is Tropicana. The other side, Tropicana Community Service Community.org.
Right. Okay, no worries.
You know what? Let me I'll put it in the chat.
Yeah, put in the chat. Just very quickly, just to piggyback to the second career there very quickly. Is that funded to some degree? How does that work with the second career? Are you, or you said that you have to be unemployed? Are you given some sort of funds to help your daily expenses with that program?
But I know for the second career, if you're qualified, the government, they'll pay your tuition, they'll pay your living expense, And this you don't have to repay. So all your expenses are taken care of.
Okay.
Saying that too.
Yeah.
The courses, you can't just take the money, you don't go to school, right?
Right.
Or when you go, you do well at school, or you know, if you don't pass the courses, you would have to do that at your expense.
Oh, okay.
But if everything is good, everything is free, and they cover all your living expenses and all your tuition and books and all of that.
What careers are you finding that individuals are taking advantage of when it comes to the second career? What are maybe 2 or 3 of the predominant ones that, or do they just have a selection? Can it be anything?
Well, the ones that I see they're doing PACE, the personal support worker, food services, IT, and social work.
Oh, okay. That's a good selection, especially with it's good to know that IT's in there with the way the world is going right now. So that, you know, if anyone is, you know, for those once again that are able to listen now, our time is a unique time where individuals are at work. So we get our views a little bit later on in the day and as the days go. But this is really good information to know, because some individuals don't know that, you know, these services are out there. You know, if you have a program that's set up, that's going to allow you to go back to school and possibly take care of the finances, then that's pretty awesome, right? To set you up, to reposition yourself, of course, to, you know, get yourself into an industry or a field that's going to be more productive for you in the long run. So that's really good.
Yeah.
That's the site right there.
This is the site right here.
Yeah, that's a site for the community. I think that's that's the employment section.
Okay.
So you can see all the jobs that we have internal and some of our programs.
Okay.
For summer jobs for the interest of the youth, what would you say the best time? I mean, when do you do the summer youth programs? What's the best time for youth to come out and take advantage of some of these summer programs? What, you know, we're
do they have to start early, perhaps?
Yes, they would have to start. I would encourage them to start from April, or at least call and to find out, you know, when is the program. Maybe they'll take your name for the summer program, because sometimes it's not a lot of persons or a lot of clients that we can take for the summer, so it fills up very quickly. I know before we have the Youth Job Connection program, we had the summer jobs program, and I think that's what you were a part of, Keisha, where it was all over in Toronto. You have it over the West and all of that, and it was a much broader program, but that was just for the summer. So we don't have that. We don't have that amount of funding to do all that big hiring anymore. So they would have to start from early April.
It fills up. Yeah. Yes. I mean, even in my time, I missed out 1 year. My friends made it there before me, and I was the one that introduced them to it the first year, and then I got there late the second year, and I had no job for that summer.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, so it definitely, it, you know, it was a lesson learned. Get there early.
Get there early. Yes.
Right. Yeah. So I mean, we definitely, as we kind of wrap up here, we appreciate you know, you taking the time. How can individuals? I mean, would they? There's the youth section. Is there a contact directly? Or just go to that site? And then for you, particularly, where you deal with the older bracket, right? How can individuals contact you? You know, with regards to aligning themselves with employment, if someone is looking or wants to refer the information over.
What do you mean by, though, you dealing with the older bracket?
Okay, that's the employment. That's the employment services.
Okay.
Remember, the youth is from 15 to 29 years old.
Okay, so you're in the other category. Okay.
Yes, she goes all the way up to 77, right? Or
I just want to make sure that, you know, my options are wide open. You know, that's why I just, you know, that's it.
Yes, it's open. Yes, your options are there. So our telephone number is 416-491-7000. And that's the main line that you can call that number, and you can get either for the youth programs or the Employment Services Program. For my telephone number, it's 437-918-9246. Right? And that's my direct line. You could get me on that, as well as you can call through the straight line, and they will transfer the call to me.
Repeat your phone number again.
437-918-9246.
And that's for you. Okay. And yes. And then the general number for
the general number 416-491.
It's on screen, Keisha.
Oh, you already have it. Okay.
Oh, okay. And just for an FYI,
you're missing a zero there, I think. Sorry.
4917000.
Oh, 7,000. Sorry.
7,000. Sorry.
Yeah.
Oh no, that's me. Sorry. Let me correct that.
Yeah.
let me correct. I'll correct that after. Sorry about that.
No worries. What were you saying?
Yeah.
So we're having for the Employment Services Program, we're having some virtual sessions, virtual hiring session for the month of December. We're having one on December 9th from 2 to 3 p.m. and this is with that's a virtual hiring. That one is with A&T Business, I think, and one on December 14 from 1 to 4. This is with A&T Human Resource. That's the virtual hiring. And December 17, it's Manpower, virtual hiring again from 1 to 4 p.m. And we're always open to accepting immigrants, Canadian citizens, permanent residents. So if you're looking for employment, you just call us and we can also assist you in finding employment, your job search. If you want to change career, if you want even just a little employment counseling, we're here to help you with that and to hold to that.
Just before you go, Sanganette, I'm looking at Billie Jane's questions here. Just one question she's asking. What is your best advice to new immigrants looking for work in the field? All right, that's her question here.
Okay, what I'll recommend. Normally we take new immigrants through the labor market, right? Because sometimes our profession, our career that we have back home, you come here, you can't get a job in there. It's just a total different mindset. So when you come, you check the labor market to see where can you get employment right now. And another thing, when you come here, don't be like, I am not doing anything except this job. No. You need to if you need work experience or to get in the employment sector, you have to start from somewhere, right? Start from somewhere. So if you can't get a job in your field, try somewhere else. Maybe you're a secretary and you can't get a job there, but there's a job as a receptionist. I would advise you take that job, get in that company. The jobs inside are advertised internal, and that's how you can get into the labor market or to get into your field, right? So if you hadn't taken that first step, then you won't go where you want to go. So you have to take your first step. There are other opportunities open internal because vacancies are always advertised internal first before they go external. And you are there, so you would have access to those internal postings first. So I would say don't refuse any job, just go there and have a mindset that I'm moving. I'm not going to stay right here.
Okay.
Right.
Okay.
Good point. Very good.
All right. I think, that was it from Billie Jane. She just wants to, she has some connections with individuals, so she wanted to get your take on it.
And you know what? You could ask them if you have like immigrants coming, just give them my telephone number and we'll work with them. Because as I said, I walk the walk and I talk the talk. So come in here. So, I can easily help assist them in, what they're doing maybe like a career path with them, right? So, what other field you like to get into? If we check the labor market and that's not a good field to go into, no, you won't get hired for the next 4 or 3 years, right?
Right.
We could actually I did a workshop. I had to come up with a workshop, so I created a workshop for new immigrants, new immigrants mentorship program. So I had that, and to see how they can, to tell them how they do their resume, what they should look for, all this trauma about coming to a new country and all of that. So I created that new workshop, and I am about to use it within the organization.
Awesome.
Okay.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much again, Sanganette, of course, for, taking the time. As I always say, no one's going to know you exist unless you put yourself out there, right? And get over yourself, get out there. And so, this is one of the great opportunities for us to share this information. We've created this platform, of course, to bring knowledge and opportunity to those in our community. Please feel free, if there's anyone that you could think of that can contribute to this platform, let us know. We're always happy, of course, once again, to share information. For those who are listening, who will be listening, I do hope that this has provided you with some information, as Sanganette says. And yeah, she's literally just a call away. She knows that if I have someone, I'm calling her, Sanganette, I have someone I want to bring to you. So right, so she definitely she's a great help and a resource of information. So thank you again. And yeah, that about wraps it up for this session of Dollars and Cents. If we can get Wade's line up in there, because yes, we do have some cents to share as well.
Yeah. What does he say here, Keisha? He says, yes, helping you make sense of your dollars.
Yes. Yeah.
All right, helping you make sense of your dollars. All right. Well, I mean, that's all from me as well. Thank you once again, Sanganette. And I hope you're open to a follow-up. You never know. You never know.
Yeah, I'm always open, and thank you so much for having me.
Yeah. It wasn't too bad, right? It wasn't too bad. Okay, all right.
At least we're out there to help our clients and to help persons who are not aware of the programs, and I'm very happy to do this, right? I'm helping someone might be listening who they don't know about all our programs and don't know about what to do, and I am so happy to do this, and thank you again for inviting me, and I'm always here.
All right, we'll remember that.
Okay,
folks, until next time, you stay with us, Sanganette. Don't go anywhere.